first time Elijah and I met Sean was we were down in Queenstown, and there was a big flood, and they were building sets on the squash court to try and find some way to
oh no.
As soon as somebody gets remotely boring, it just freezes. So
Fala pessoal, Isaac aqui. Este vídeo é uma continuação direta do vídeo anterior. Portanto, se você não assistiu a parte 1, é altamente recomendável que assista primeiro, caso queira entender direito do que eles estão falando. Vou deixar na descrição do vídeo e no comentário fixado.
So I would love now to bring out Eowyn and Eomer themselves, Miranda Otto and Carl Urban.
Hear him!
Oh my gosh, this is glorious. Hello.
Oh, John. There's John.
Hey, John.
John, we had you for a second and then we lost you. I was going to ask you, who was in makeup longer, you or Sir Ian?
Well, naturally, I'm going to say me, but I suffered most. That's
I've heard.
Yeah. I remember my first day was on the Helm's Deep set, and I walked on, and there's literally, I think, maybe 400 or 500 extras dressed up as orcs. There was a scale model of Helm's Deep, and it took all of my energy just not to lose my shit at how insane this was.
To the king! To the king!
I can definitely attest to that. I remember, Pete, one day we were on the Edoras set, and you came to me and said, listen, I feel like, we need a little something here from your character, and you literally got the book out and came to this passage that was in the Two Towers where Eomer was addressing the Rohirrim, and I remember you wrote down a whole chunk of dialogue on the back of the sides and said, here you go, we're going to be shooting this in about 20 minutes. I couldn't believe it, and I said to you, this feels not too dissimilar to like a small independent New Zealand film.
We are missing someone right now, and my screen doesn't feel complete, so I'm going to bring on the love of Aragorn himself, Liv Tyler. There she is!
This is wild.
Hey, Lizzie.
Hello, my love.
Favorite memories from making Lord of the Rings? Liv, go. What's your favorite memories?
Oh, everything. Togetherness, sweetness, humor, innocence, doing something that had never been done before. It was kind of crazy at times, but everyone just gave their everything. It was so special. It was like growing up together. It's like family,
So if you guys are up for it, whoever is up for it, I would love to bring some of these scenes to life.
You're late.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. He arrives precisely when he means to.
You're late.
A wizard is never late, Bilbo, Frodo.
Come on, Ian, you're better than that.
I'll take it back.
He arrives precisely when he means to. That was my very first day. My very first entrance into the movie. And that was the first day of shooting. And 2 days later, I did my second scene, and it was the last scene in the last movie of Lord of the Rings. Remember when Gandalf sailing away with, and I had to meet the hobbits and say goodbye to them. I'd never met them before.
Orlando and John, in your library, you want to take us into the next scene? Do you still got it?
Oh, right. Okay. So we're at on the battlefield. Let me just tilt this up a wee bit. What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you? Or would you like a box?
Yes! Did everyone on your set keep props?
I didn't get a helmet.
Oh!
I didn't get a helmet.
Pull out a prop. If you have a prop from Lord of the Rings, pull it out right now, because I'm very impressed by the fact that everybody got something from this.
What? That's amazing. Mine's in New York. I have my sword too. That's so sweet, you guys.
Peter, this is called theft.
All right, should we do the scene? Here we go.
A true esquire of Rohan.
You should not encourage him.
You should not doubt him.
I do not doubt his heart.
only the reach of his arm. When the fear takes him, and the blood, and the screams, and the horror of battle take hold, do you think he would stand and fight?
You should not encourage him.
You should not doubt him.
I do not doubt his heart, only the reach of his arm.
Why should Merry be left behind? Why can he not fight for those he loves?
You know as little of war as that hobbit. When fear takes him, and the blood and the screams of the horror battle take hold, do you think he would stand and fight?
Oh, Dom, Billy, take it away.
Okay, Bills, ready?
Yes.
Oi! We're coming too. Have to tie us up in a sack to stop us.
Anyway, you need people of intelligence on this sort of mission, quest, thing.
That rules you out, Pip.
This is so fun to listen to you guys.
Sean, you have one line in the movie that's become an internet meme. Did you know this?
Which you're me.
Yeah, you.
Right, yeah. Do you want me to do that one then? I've got
Yeah, say it for us.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Can I just say one thing about that scene? Is that entire speech that Sean had to deliver at the Council of Elrond was written the night before. It's long, and we gave it to Sean in the morning he arrived. What Sean did, which I thought was very clever, is he got a printout of the speech taped to his knee. It was on his knee, and when he did that scene, you'll see one cannot just walk into Mordor. If you watch the scene now, you'll see every time that Sean has to check his script.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Can I just say, when I arrived rather late in New Zealand to start filming, Peter and Fran took us out for a welcoming supper downtown in Wellington. Everyone was there, and I met for the first time the great Christopher Lee, 217 movies he'd made. And he was next to me, and his first words to me were, "I read Lord of the Rings every year." Then with the killer, quite early on in the soup course, he turned to me and he said, "I've always thought I should play Gandalf." After which we were the best of friends. Bless him.
What you have achieved is sheer magic, all of you. All of you, and I think that is the operative word, all of you. You are the greatest crew I've ever known.
I was behind them once. I was behind them queuing up for lunch one day. As we had lunch break, I remember him looking around at this vast food spread the crew were getting. He says, "It's not as good as what they gave us on Star Wars."
Andy, we know you still have Gollum. You got to do it all over again in The Hobbit. If you want to give us this iconic scene with Sean.
Oh, yeah, go for it, Sean.
What's taters, precious? What's taters, eh? Potatoes. Spring nice fish. Give it to us. Raw and wriggling.
What we need's a few good taters.
What's taters, precious? What's taters?
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Lovely big golden chips and a nice piece of fried fish. Even you couldn't say no to that.
Oh, yes, we could. Spring nice fish. Chips.
Well, you're hopeless.
Oh, so good.
Liv, you got one?
Sure.
Yay, Lindsay.
You do the first part, and I'll say my part.
Give up the halfling, she-elf.
Good.
If you want him, come and claim him.
Oh.
Yeah. Give up the halfling, she-elf.
If you want him, come and claim him.
Wait, then I have to do this. Raise my sword and I say, Ninu hithaiglir lasto bethdair, rimonin bruinenda nin ulayr.
Ninu hithaiglir lasto bethdair, rimonin bruinenda nin.
say that a few times, but.
Oh, that was incredible.
I used to get the Elvish on cassette tapes with the line like that, and then they'd write it out in a way that you could, so it's sort of phonetically, so we could memorize it. And it's all stayed in my brain forever because we just learned it in a way that it kind of stuck with you. So I still remember most of my Elvish lines, but.
I can still remember all my old English lines.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, from the funeral.
Do it. Give us a taste.
Berlo quem have a freoni fecken forth on sended, yen schulen singan gleomen soriende in meduselde, that Hemana weareth, that his drukne dearest and Maya dearost.
Amazing.
Embrace the power of the ring, or embrace your own destruction.
There can only be one Lord of the Rings. Only one who can bend them to his will, and he does not share power.
So you have chosen death. To help my pathetic, horrible little voice,
You're a natural.
I mean, Christopher Lee had one of the most amazing natural voices, deep, sonorous, and my God, I don't think I've ever heard anyone actually come close to impersonating him.
Let's do Orlando and John in one of my favorite scenes.
Okay.
I never thought I would die fighting side by side with an elf.
What about side by side with a friend?
Oh.
Aye, I could do that.
Sean and Elijah, take us out.
In the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass, and a new day will come. And when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clearer. Those are the stories that stayed with you, that meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. But I think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now, folk in those stories had lots of chances at turning back, only they didn't, because they were holding on to something.
He holding on to, Sam?
That there's some good left in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for.
I'm not quite sure where to go from those incredible performances, but I bring out now one of your fellow Kiwis to help me ask a couple of Lord of the Rings trivia questions. So please indulge me as I welcome to Reunited Apart Lord of the Rings edition the brilliant director behind Thor Ragnarok and an Academy Award winner for Jojo Rabbit, Taika Waititi. Taika, welcome!
Wow, what a reunion!
Taika, why do you look so cool right now? What is happening over there? What is this?
That's like asking the wind why it blows. Some things cannot be answered.
Taika, you have some Lord of the Rings trivia questions you wanted to ask these guys, right?
Who approached Stanley Kubrick to direct an adaptation of Lord of the Rings?
Anyone know this?
Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. The Beatles wanted to do Lord of the Rings. John Lennon was going to play Gollum. Paul McCartney was going to play Frodo. Ringo, Sam, and George was going to play Gandalf. And they got so serious that they actually approached J.R.R. Tolkien, who at that point still had the rights. They approached him, and Tolkien said no.
Okay. Who voices the Ringwraith screams?
Fran Walsh.
Hey.
Wow.
Nice.
We had 2 recorders going on our first scream, and neither one of them could take it.
No, I know. It's amazing. She hits some frequency which is really disturbing.
What is Legolas's only line to Frodo in the entire trilogy?
What was that?
What's the only line you say to Frodo in the entire trilogy? And it's not "get off my cape."
and my bow.
Yes!
And my bow.
Who got that, Sean?
And that's how you did it.
Nice, Sean.
You have my sword. And you have my bow.
Which film is the only one where no one wears the ring?
Ooh.
Two Towers.
Yeah, Two Towers. It's got to be Two Towers.
Dom, you're behaving like a man who thinks there's a prize to get
The only thing we're missing now is a little music. So why don't we bring on the man behind one of the most iconic scores in the history of cinema. Please welcome Mr. Howard Shore.
Hi, Howard.
Hey.
Nice to see you.
Howard, tell me about the incredible score. Tell me about your collaboration with Peter and coming up with the amazing, iconic ring theme.
And we kind of went into the mines of Moria. We had a great subject to work with. You know, we were so proud to be working on.
Peter, do you remember the first time, do you and Philippa remember the first time you heard the score on the soundstage?
Normally when you make a movie, obviously the composer gets involved at the end. So that the film's shot, it's finished, and then you hand it over to the composer. But we obviously talked to Howard early because we wanted him involved in the film. And he said, well, look, it would be great if I could come down to New Zealand and just sit in and watch a bit of filming, you know, early, just so I can start to think and start to understand the film that you're making. So Howard actually came down to New Zealand, and then he invited us around to his house one evening, and he said, I've got an idea or two to play you, and he played us it didn't really change much, the fellowship theme and the Shire theme.
I felt like crying when I heard that, Howard, because I just felt like this is the other half of the film. This is going to be the other half.
I remember that you were recording the first stuff in Wellington, and I remember that some of us got permission to go in and watch some of that. It was incredible.
It was a Mines of Moria sequence. You know, it was the entire Mines of Moria sequence, like a 20-minute long piece.
That's what it was, yeah.
And
it was amazing to see that starting to take shape, even as we're shooting. Very unusual.
Before we go, tell me what Lord of the Rings means to each of you.
It means family and fellowship.
It was the most exciting thing I've ever worked on.
It was one of the best moments of my whole life, and I always want to go back again and visit.
Come back.
I dream about it. I know I want to so much. You guys are amazing.
There was nothing better in my life than coming to New Zealand and seeing that country.
Yeah.
And the people. And now when I meet little kids who weren't even born when we were making the films, and I can have a relationship with them because they care about those characters, I mean, it's been an absolute blessing to me.
Not only did you share it with the cast, you shared the story of making that film with the world, and it made them feel part of the family.
The weird thing is that I've had just as many people come to me saying they love all the behind the scenes, you know, extra stuff as the actual film itself, which is great.
But you can learn more about filmmaking in watching those behind-the-scene films than you could at 2 years at NYU or someplace like that.
Now, to lead us out, as I always do on Reunited Apart, I love to go out with a good song, and there's no better song that I can think of for this moment than your song, Billy Boyd, from Return of the King, The Edge of Night.
Home is behind, the world ahead, and there are many paths to tread, through shadow to the edge of night, until the stars are all alight. Mist and shadow, cloud and shade, all shall fade, all shall fade.
I'm actually crying.
Nice one, Bill. Bring it home, son.
Thank
All
you
right, see you.
See you.
Bye.
I'm gonna hug. Oh, who's going to be the last? This is like Russian roulette now.
Yeah,
oh, another one's gone. One's gone.
Who's going
Oh,
to
that's-
stay on to the bitter end?
Who's last?
Vigo's not,
Oh.
by the way, Vigo is
I
not
don't
around. He's like, I'm going to outlast
Here we
you.
go. Oh, yeah. He's gone. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, they're dropping like flies. Oh, no. Oh, God. Who's going to be? All right, I'm going to go. I think Livty should be the last. Because
No,
he
I
doesn't
can't.
want-
I'll be the
to see
last.
that
I'm not leaving.
beautiful-
Oh, don't go.
See you, friends.
Bad dates.
Got it. Here it is. It's taken ages. Sorry it's taken so long.
Um salve aos novos membros do canal Nível Valar, Orobos, Linux e Guto. Muito obrigado pelo apoio ao canal, queridos amigos. Tamo junto. E com isso chegamos ao fim de mais um vídeo. Se você gostou, não deixe de se inscrever e deixar um gostei. Um abraço e até o próximo vídeo.